No, Bella, I'm a killer. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Megan and I like to come on here and talk about books. And today we will be talking about the number one girly, Twilight, by our good gal, Stephanie Meyer. I will be reading this book for the first time in my life. As a almost 25-year-old woman, I have never read Twilight. And this is shocking because I come from the generation that was obsessed with Twilight. All my friends loved it. I just had a personal vendetta. And that personal vendetta was thinking that I couldn't like anything popular because it was too girly. Twilight was really big when I was in like late elementary to early high school, probably more like late elementary. And at that point in my life, I thought that I was the most unique person that had ever walked on this earth. And I hated everything that I thought was girly or popular, so I never gave Twilight a chance. I have seen all the movies and I just did a rewatch, so I know generally the plot of all the books and I know the plot of this book. I know what happens, but I've never actually read it. I tried to at one point and I only got like 20 pages in and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm trying to make this video in good faith. I'm not just like making this to bash on the book or the series or especially the fans because, as I said, a lot of the people in my life are huge fans of Twilight, so I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to come at it from an honest perspective. And if I had read it, I think when I was younger, I probably would have been a little rascal about it. So this is me coming to this book and trying to be a good person. But this is the first time I've ever done like a reading vlog, so we'll see how this new format goes. I'm hoping what I'll do is read chunks and then check in with my thoughts and like, you know, share some fun anecdotes that have happened in the book so far. I will pick back up with you when I actually crack the book open. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this video and stay tuned for some fun shenanigans. Just did a lovely yin yoga class. And I'm gonna go get ready for bed, but I'm gonna crack open Twilight for the first time. Also, this is a different copy. I have two, of course. But yeah, I will crack it open and take my makeup off, and maybe I'll share my thoughts before I go to sleep, but maybe not. So yeah, let's get to it. Didn't know the Mormonism was coming in this early. I feel like there's been several yikes so far, but not depressed enough to shoot myself on purpose. Okay. What did I get myself into? This is to cover how my hair looks, but anyways, I am like 60 pages in, and Edward just saved Bella from the van that was gonna crush her and kill her, and they're in the hospital, and she's like, how did you do that? And he's like, I know you're talking about it was regular, and she's like, yo, you fucking like ran top speed, dented cars and lifted this van. And he's like, well, nobody's gonna believe you. This man actually says, nobody will believe that, you know. Come on, Gaslight. Love that. But I think I'm gonna read another chapter or two before bed. But so far, my consensus is Bella is so annoying. It's just, I don't understand. All these people love her, and she's like, I'd rather be alone. I'd rather them leave me alone. I think, like, what was it, like 12-year-old me that refused to read this book would have actually got along with Bella because we're both pick-me girls who are just completely built different and, you know, not like other girls. I think the first movie does a good job of not letting you see how annoying she is. And she's kind of unbearable. Hello, and welcome back to another addition to the what the absolute fuck is going on in this book. I haven't checked in a couple days. It's now Saturday, and I started reading this book on Tuesday, I think. And it's not flowing. I really thought I would get through this book in like 2 days, but that is not happening. Officially, they're in love. So we've got to the point where Bella is unconditionally and irrevocably in love with Edward Cullen, and he is a vampire, and he wants to suck her blood, but she doesn't care. I didn't realize that Bella was so annoying. Like, it is just kind of a little bit unbearable. The most recent thing that has given me the ick was there's a day where Edward's just asking her questions and she has to answer them all. And he said, "What's your favorite color?" And she said, "Brown." Okay, honey, there's so many colors in the world. Nothing wrong with brown, but next question he asks her is what her favorite gemstone is. You know, the question you ask your girlfriend when you're in high school, what's your favorite gemstone? And she says it's topaz because it's the color of his eyes today. Most recent update is they said the name of the book. Ding, 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 take a shot. They said the name of the book. If you are playing the Twilight drinking game, go for it. Take a slog of whatever you are sipping. Tea, tequila, whatever. Just, I wish I had tequila, but I don't. I'm gonna try and continue reading more today. I am trapped inside because we had a huge snowstorm, so that's fun. But I will be seeing Cocaine Bear tonight, so that's a real change of pace. Just a little change of pace. Yeah, let's see what I can do. See what I can do today. Okay. So I am almost done this godforsaken book. I've got like 15 pages left, 20 pages left. But I thought I would do like a last little check-in at the end. I read through like a lot, like 200 pages yesterday because I'd been really stuck. Paisley did not want to be a part of this conversation. I think the second half picked up after we went to like the baseball game. Everything after that I enjoyed a lot more than I had enjoyed the rest of the book because it wasn't just about like Bella and Edward being annoying and being like, this is how the first half of the book felt to me. Bella saying, "Don't leave me, I love you, don't leave me, I don't care if you're a vampire, don't leave me." And he's like, "No, Bella, I'm a killer. You don't even need me. I'm scary." Roar. That's kind of how I, experience the book, which isn't super great. But yeah, the rest of the book, when like, the plot happens, that was pretty cool. So I figure I will just read the last 20 pages and then come back at the end and share my final thoughts. Twilight. Finished it finally. Didn't record my thoughts right away because I was filming in my living room and my mom came downstairs and asked me who I was talking to. And that was really bad, really embarrassing for me. Twilight, what are my final thoughts? I get the Edward thing. Like, Edward is very, very much book boyfriend material, so I completely understand that. If you can move past all the gaslighting and the fact that he's, like, really old, then I understand. As I've said multiple times before, Bella, not my favorite. Cheers to Kristen Stewart for making her, a little bit more, tolerable. So I appreciate that. I will not be continuing the Twilight series. This to me was like a 2.5. I will say, and I think I mentioned this yesterday, the book definitely picks up in the second half, or like, I guess like the last third. And there's more action and that's exciting. But the action is mostly Bella is stuck in a hotel room or in a vehicle. So like we don't really see anything going on. This is a competently written book. I've read books in this genre, like paranormal boyfriend genre, that are definitely written not as well. Like this is structured fine. There's no issues with that. The issues with me are just like the personalities of the characters, the focus on the romance. I think if we didn't focus on the romance as much, I would enjoy this book. This is a romance at the end of the day. It's not really like a fantasy sci-fi. It's mostly just a romance. I really don't think if I had read this like at the proper age to have read it, I would have even really liked it that much. It wasn't really up my avenue. I was more of like, I liked the romance books, but like later on in my teens, this would have been way too romancy for me in like middle school. So it's probably a good thing I didn't read it then because I would have been really obnoxious about it. Again, I'm trying to come at this from like not an evil point of view. Like I'm not trying to be a hater, even if I'm being a hater. What I do like about this book and its legacy is that it got a lot of people to read, which is always a win. So that's great that there's lots of people who picked up the series, loved it, read it ravenously, and then like became readers later in life. I like that it gave us Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart as famous actors because I like them. I'm glad that it gave us the Taylor Lautner, Taylor Swift songs like Back to December. That's important, because if this book was never popular, Taylor Lautner would have never been in the movie, and he would have never really been super famous. I know he was Shark Boy, and like that's pretty iconic, but like I don't think you can date Taylor Swift off of, you know, Shark Boy fame. So if Taylor Swift never met Taylor Lautner because he was famous, we would have never had Back to December. And Speak Now is her best album. So I can't even be mad. Actually, this is the best book I've ever read. Thanks, Stephenie Meyer. I know there's some issues later on in the series that are like actual issues, not just like me finding the characters annoying, about how like Stephenie Meyer writes, you know, the indigenous characters who are actually a tribe, they're actually like a Quaalude people, and like turns them into werewolves who can scratch up their wives, and it's fine. I will say this book is very of the times in terms of how it views women. Bella hates pretty much, I feel like she hates every other female character except for like Alice and her mom and Edward's mom, which is it's a choice. She hates them because they like dresses and boys, and she doesn't like boys. She likes vampires. So this was my first attempt at this like kind of video where I do a reading vlog. I'm hoping that this will be like a series. Like that's kind of my goal when I was first thinking of this, like reading other books that I missed out on because I didn't read them at the time. Like I never read City of Bones. That's the one, that's the sibling one, right? No. I think there's a good future for this series because there's a ton of popular books I've never read. So if this video goes well, I'm hoping to do more videos like this, like more reading vloggy type reviews of the classics, you know, the canon of the 21st century. Had to think about what century we're in there. Yeah, so if you liked this video, give it a like so I know that, like, you know, it was enjoyable in some kind of way, and I'll try to make some more like this, and subscribe if you want to stick around for more booky type videos. But thank you so much for going on this journey with me. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.